Hey, how's it going? Today we're gonna go over some very sound art advice, okay? This is a question somebody asked me, and the question is, should you work on old art? Let's just say you have old art laying around. Should you really work on it, or should you do new things and work on that? What should you do? I'm going to answer that question in the next video. The video is going to take, what, 8 minutes, maybe less, maybe 5 minutes. A little bit of a rant. But people seem to like those. So what I want you to do is I want you to subscribe right now if you like anything about art discussion, general art tutorials. I'm gonna have a lot of those on the channel, and I'm gonna come back here, and I'm very, very happy to do that. So I've been gone for a couple years, so I'm back in a strong way. So let me know what you want, and I'm gonna form the channel the way you want it. Okay, so let's jump right into the video immediately. Alrighty, let's kind of go over my thoughts on it, and we will get started on it. I'm gonna be working on this. This is ironically an old piece, not that old though. This one is maybe a couple months old, I want to say. I just kind of like left it as a pencil for a while, left it alone, went back later, started some inking on it, went back later, did some more inking on it, and it's kind of at this stage right now, and I'm still just kind of inking around it. It's Goliath from Gargoyles, so if anybody recognizes the character, let me know in the description, or if you're a fan, absolutely hit that like. I want to go through and draw a lot more characters I grew up with. You know, I feel like they're not represented as well. They are represented a lot, but I just want to do my version of it. You know, I can't be like they're not represented enough, because they are. They are in media. So the question I got right now was, is there value in working on old art? There 100% is, and if I ever do it, and I totally do. I used to do, so there's a couple of ways to think about this, and you're gonna have to judge for yourself whether you think it's appropriate or not to work on old art. For me, sometimes I was kicking around old art for years, and that's totally fine as long as you get something done, right? But if it holds you back from doing anything and you don't get anything new done, then you really have to like detach from a lot of that old art for a while until you can, go back in your extra time, or just, you feel very motivated and compelled to finish something, then do it. I understand that. I do that a lot. One of the ones I think I did, there's a couple sometimes, right? Because after you improve over the course of a couple of years, you just feel that like, man, I want to go back. Let me tell you like a little story, tiny story, and it kind of relates to it, not really, kind of. I was a caricature artist in, I want to say like 10 years ago, and we would draw caricatures of people, right? You do cartoon images of people that sit in front of you, like at the theme parks. Like, hey guys, we'll draw you like as a cartoon, ha ha ha. And I remember somebody, you can ask for a refund, and I'm like, okay, it hurts, but it sometimes it's not just me, it's just like, oh, this other guy drew me a few days ago and I want to return it now, because there's like 10 artists or something there or more working at different times. And this woman showed up with a drawing of her daughter, and I don't know what her daughter looked like, but I'm not gonna lie, with that drawing they gave was terrible. It was not done by me, it was done by one of our other employees. I forget what her name was, to be honest, but she was a pretty rough artist, honestly. She drew everybody very monstrous, and that can be funny, but I mean monstrous in a, like, she was a bad artist, plus it looked embarrassingly bad as well, like just embarrassing. I don't know how to describe it, but I wish I could, I don't know, I'll pull her art up one day, but I can't do it now because it's kind of mean. So we look at this art, and normally we'd go, okay, yeah, sure, you can have a refund, or you can have someone else redraw it. That's usually what we offer first, like, oh, one of our others can redraw it, like, whose style do you like, because usually there's like a thing of style. And then I was looking at it, and then I looked closer on the bottom right hand corner of it, and it was dated like 3 years before, right? It was 3 years old, and I was like, what? Like, that ain't, what's this about? And I was like, oh. So the story was that they got the caricature, they I guess they were on vacation, and then they barely came back 3 years later, and they wanted to just return return the caricature, or get a replacement 3 years later. And that's when I was like, no, that's too far. Like, that's such a big amount of time. You don't want to do that. Ironically, and you know, not ironically, but since then, she had gotten a lot better, and which is funny, and she ended up redrawing their new one. So it was by the same artist, but she redrew it, and they liked it that time. So it was kind of funny. And I just, that's the only story I could remember about improvement, but I thought that was really weird that it was like 3 years later they come back. While we're on the topic of caricatures, I remember I saw one of them at a thrift store. It was a friend of mine's. I went to a thrift store and you could just see it. Like, oh, somebody dumped it somewhere. Anyways, back to this. If you're brand new, don't go through your old drawings. I would say, depending on how old they are. If they're like, if you just started drawing this year, I wouldn't really go through them yet. I would wait till you're like, you know, further in. But if you, I'm also giving this other advice, which might seem a little counterintuitive. If you're working on something and you just give up prematurely, then go back and finish it, right? If you only did a tiny bit of it, it was premature, do it. Go back. Because what you're going to do is you're going to learn a lot from finishing art. The more art you finish, the more you're going to learn. And because you're going to work your way through problems, you're going to work out issues. And in all honesty, like, we can teach you how to draw, right? We can teach you a lot of techniques, but you're the one that's going to take what everyone else teaches you, right, me included, and apply that and move your hand a certain way. See the spatial relations between things, right? You're gonna judge distances in your own drawing. We don't have the pen in our hand for you, right? So you're gonna have to do that part. Even though if I say like, oh, this is a little bit short, this is a little weird, whatever, you're the one that's gonna have to go back and fix it and kind of repair it, short of like a trace over. So that's kind of why you should finish drawings as much as you can in general, and you're gonna work out issues. You're like, oh, okay, this has got to go there. Oh, when I do this with, like, for example, like the brush, it's kind of like it's kind of light, so I have to push down a little bit harder. You're gonna learn all that stuff, right, with like pencil or pen or whatever medium you choose to do. And that's important to learn. That's why everybody says do mileage, do mileage, do mileage. You could either ingrain bad habits or, you know, improve. And the way you make sure to improve is to, you know, basically reach out to an art teacher to look at stuff. I might start my Patreon again. I'm really thinking about that. Where what I used to do on Patreon is I used to have people photograph their drawing and send it to me, and I would go through it, and on the computer, right, I would like draw over it. As far as structure goes, I'd be like, oh, you got to make this shoulder a little bit more square, the head a little bit more like this, the eyes a little bit small here, I shrink it, and I would do that in this like 10-minute video, and I would send it to them. And I used to do that on Patreon, but I ended up getting overwhelming, to be honest, so I just stopped for a while, but I'm kind of getting in the mood to do it again. If you guys ever want me to start that up again, leave me a comment. I might think about doing that again. But anyways, if that makes sense, you want to work through your issues, and you're going to become a better artist for it, right? But anyways, I'll teach you more about structure next time, because in my opinion, structure is key, meaning, you know, things don't look wobbly and boneless. You know, Goliath here has, you know, bone in his arm. He doesn't look like just a wiggly tube man. Yeah, so that's pretty much my answer in shorthand, just to quicken it up. I would say if you've completed a drawing enough, don't go back to it for a while. You know, give yourself some time till you think you really have improved a bit. But if you just straight up haven't finished something, you're like, oh, I just left it unfinished, finish it. You know, finish it, doesn't matter, just go back and finish it, and finish it as much as you possibly can at that level, so when you go back a couple years later, hopefully you've been practicing, you'll be like, oh, okay, cool, now I know what to do, now I know what I can solve, and I can draw this a lot better, or paint this a lot better, or ink this a lot better. That's pretty much it. Thanks so much. I'm posting a lot more again. I'm sorry I was so away for so long. I barely posted for years. And forgive me, guys, I was focusing on a lot of other stuff. I'm on Skillshare now. You can find me there. I have entire full lessons on Skillshare, like how to draw the head and everything, anatomy, how to create your own dragon designs, all that stuff is on my Skillshare. And I also put a free how to draw a head template on my Gumroad, which I'm just starting to, like, you know, throw out there. The Gumroad is there. It's not even, you don't even have to sign up for it. Just go to the link in the description. Completely free. Check that out. Download that head drawing template. Really quick to explain what that is. There are measurements to drawing a normal human head, and to make your drawing better, this is a structure part I was talking about, and I put it on a kind of like easy worksheet for you so that you can draw from it, and just to kind of like it's basically training wheels for drawing a head. So that's kind of pretty much what I did. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next time. Reach out to me. I'm going to be available a lot. I'm posting constantly, and I'm going to start doing live streams, maybe on here, but I'm doing live streams already on my other channel, Easy Drawings, which I might link. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you later. Hey, for those of you that are a little bit more serious and you really want to kind of upgrade your art skill all around, I have these beginner art lessons here on my Skillshare. So the idea with this is that some people that, you know, for example, on YouTube, people just kind of want to draw what's in the video and just generally have a fun time. They're not always concerned about the little details and stuff, about learning how to do this stuff, you know, long term. And I get that, that's fun. But for some people want to upgrade their art ability entirely, like all around, like they're serious about it. If that's you, go here. Like I said, there's programs here on even some of the same material. Like I said, it's just a lot more in depth. My eye drawing program is an hour as opposed to the video I have on YouTube, which is like 10 minutes, right? You can still learn from both, but like I said, if you really want more and you really want to make this part of your life, go here. I have same thing over here, how to draw a dragon head. I have anime, I have cartoons. There's categories for everything, and everything is for beginners. The other thing about this website is it's incredibly easy to watch it. This is like the Netflix of like drawing lessons, so you can go through the entire site, see everybody else's lessons. And normally the site costs like 30 to 40 bucks a month. Because you're watching this video right now, if you're still watching right now, you get it for free for at least a month, like 30 days. That's a lot. But just what you have to do is go over here to the video, go down, first link in the description, the very, very first link that gives you free access to this whole thing for 30 days. You just go over here, you click this thing, boom, and then you sign up. And it's super easy. And the cool part is you can just straight up cancel it before the 30 days is up, and you never pay a single thing. You never pay a cent, and you got all this learning from it. But yeah, like I said, that's an option for you guys. If you guys want to do it, absolutely go hit that up. And that's it. Thank you so much. That was awesome. I really hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget, I'm going to be putting lessons almost every day. Come back, hit that subscribe, also hit the like, and say hi to me in the comments section. I say hi to literally everybody that responds, so thank you so much. I will see you next time.